I went up for the first time to Mount Lemmon the other night, and there's this freshman from Illinois, middle of Illinois, and the guy's, he's a genius, and he said there was only one place to go to study astronomy. He was like a prodigy astronomer when he was in grade school. Seriously. So the ability to train the next generation of explorers, to discover new knowledge that may help us understand the origins of the universe, all those things are very important for the university and for the world, I think, because we're discovering new knowledge and translating, in many cases, that new knowledge into commercializable products or products that'll help society be better. Back in January, we entered the gravitational orbit of Bennu. In that orbit around Bennu, they're starting to fly closer and start to take some very high resolution images of the surface of Bennu, because it's pretty, I saw some of the earlier pictures, and it's pretty treacherous and rugged terrain. The lead scientist from NASA will be out, I think in July, and they're going to start talking about, well, we'll get this down from a list of 100 or 50 or whatever it is down to sort of the final four. A little basketball play there. Talk about the advantages and challenges of each of those sites, of where to land on Bennu. Once we're landed there, then taking the sample, which is, I thought it was going to be some big rock that's coming back. It turns out it's almost like a dust buster, where they're going to suck up some of the dust on the surface and bring that back. And I was disappointed that it's probably going to be about the size of a jumbo Coke or something. But I'm convinced that the spectroscopy equipment that we have and the analytic tools that we have, that's going to be more than enough to determine what Bennu's made of. And the big idea is that it was it was there when the Big Bang happened, and there are all these asteroids that are floating around out there that are pristine. Nobody's touched. They're still composed of the same things they were at the origin of the universe. And so that's going to be very cool to find out what was available at the time and give us insights into the origins of the universe. We've been fortunate to be a part of every NASA project that's ever been done. U of A's had some part in it. And to lead two, we're the only university that NASA, OSIRIS-REx is run out of LPL. And that is really unusual that NASA would allow a university the responsibility to run a mission. Secondly, there is what's the next big mission, because OSIRIS-REx will sunset in several years, but we still have a lot of time. We've got to land, then we've got to extract the material, we've got to get it back safely, and then there'll be a whole series of analytical experiments that are done, and then a conclusion reached about the data that is found. And of course it'll be shared with the community globally. But there are these other projects. For instance, Bennu is a big asteroid, but there are a lot of them out there, and Congress has got a mandate that we should map all of the near-Earth orbit or near-Earth objects in a project called NEOCAM. And so the idea is that if there's an asteroid that's bigger than 140 meters, and that asteroid were to hit a major city, it would destroy it. That's a big deal. There was a large asteroid that hit Russia a couple of decades ago, and luckily it was out in some remote area, but it caused some damage. And so to be able to catalog and watch and keep track of these asteroids, and if they're going to hit the Earth, is a big deal. There are other things that are not natural, that such as satellites, there's space objects out there that are important for us to know about in addition to these asteroids that are naturally occurring. As we map these objects, whether they be natural or human launched into space, it's going to be important for somebody to keep track and catalog those things. And I think University of Arizona has an obligation and an opportunity to do that, because we're blessed with so much talent, along with others such as MIT and UC Berkeley and Austin. The one thing about the astronomy community that I've found is they tend to work together fairly well and share things like the big telescopes. We have people from all over the world coming to our telescopes to get time on the telescope, and of course we work with them in a collaborative way.